Hi everyone. First, I want to thank everyone for all their thoughts and prayers and packages and stuff like that. I know I haven't been able to get back to everyone, but I do want to say thank you. I do greatly appreciate it. It's been extremely humbling on everyone that's reached out to me, and I do want to say thank you. I know I haven't had a chance to get back to everyone, so I do want to say thank you. Um, so yesterday I met with the oncologist and also had my first chemo treatment. The meeting with the oncologist went really well. We got a lot of the test results back. So the first one was the MUGA, and it showed that my heart was fully healthy and capable of, meaning they were able to use the one chemo drug. So that was good news on that part. And then the bone marrow biopsy results came in, and it came back negative, so meaning the cancer has not spread to my bones. So they were clean, so that was good. And then the CT scan, PET scan came back, and he was able to see cancer. It was mostly within my neck, my arm, which we already knew about. And then he said there were a few spots within the chest that were still part of the lymphatic system, so within the lymph nodes. So he said that was good because it means it hasn't spread to any major organs or anything like that. So that was good news. That was really good news. There was a fear of that, so that it had spread. So good news that it has not. I asked him about staging. He said for lymphoma, it's kind of hard to determine the stage, but he said he's guessing it would be like a 2, which is very good news on that. So it got labeled as a 2B. The B stands for the fact that I have night sweats at night, and it's just kind of a way to track that to make sure, just an identification for that. After we met with the oncologist, we went over to the chemo area. My dad went with me, so it was my dad and I. And the first thing they did was they actually took us to a private room to go over a lot of stuff. They did this huge education thing. It probably lasted about an hour. They gave me a very big, nice, fancy binder full of stuff. And I'm supposed to put stuff in here as we go through them. So every single time I go in, they're going to be doing some blood work on me, and the test results are going to go in there, so that way it can be all. So I have it tracked as well. The main reason they want me to keep a binder is so if I travel anywhere and anything goes wrong, I can just bring the binder in with me. Doctors can get a good feel for what's going on and help me in any way if needed. So the education part was great. The nurse sat down, and a lot of the education stuff that I got before was kind of chemo in general. This was very specific to what kind of chemo drugs I was going to go on. So I had originally gotten packets of the 4 chemo drugs, the A, B, V, D ones, and within those it had a whole list of different symptoms that could happen. She went down through every single one and was like, all right, you're going to lose your hair. She's like, we went over the A drug. She's like, you're going to lose your hair from this drug alone, most likely. She says, all my patients lose their hair. And then she went over, it says on there, like, your skin will become blotchy and discolored. She said she's never had a patient have that problem, but it could happen. Just let her know if it does. It talks about being nauseous, and she's like, don't worry about being nauseous. We're going to give you counter medication to help take care of that. One of them said that it could be you feel dizzy, and she was like, none of my patients have ever had an issue with this, but if you do, let me know. Another drug said, double vision, headaches, and stuff like that, and she's like, you just let me know if that happens. She's like, her whole goal was to counteract any symptoms that I have. So, and she went through and she was like, I've never had patients have issues with this, or I have, and it's been a few patients, and this is how we fixed it. So the education part was really, really great. She went through the whole binder. There was a ton of information that she went over. The whole education thing took about an hour. So I'm not going to go over a whole lot of that. I think later on I'm going to do one more about chemo drugs in general. Just because a few friends have asked questions, and family members as well, that I'll address at a later time. But So after doing the whole education part, I got, hooked up to the port and everything. And first they gave me a whole bunch of counter medications. So they gave me Benadryl, which made me feel really, really sleepy. I got it, and I was reading through stuff while I was going in, and the next thing I know, I'm reading a sentence, and I was like, what did that sentence just say? Like, it didn't register at all because I had gotten so tired. So I got a little spacey from that. They gave me Tylenol because the one chemo drug does kind of give you a fever as you're getting it. They gave anti-nausea medications to help settle your stomach at all. And they also gave steroids, which was kind of interesting because it was, when I got home after the whole thing, I was really tired from the Benadryl. And then after the Benadryl wore off, I was wide awake from the steroids. So it was kind of a swing on that. Once they had started the chemo, I was there probably for about 3 hours. It was an hour more than it will normally be, and the main reason was they had to test to make sure I wasn't allergic to the one. The nurse was really funny. She's like, so I'm gonna they did like a under the skin test first, and she was like, just to let you know, if he does have allergic reaction to this, there's going to be a lot of people in this room, and my dad was going to have to get out of the room as fast as possible. But good news, not allergic to it, so no issues there. So they had to wait an hour once they did the under skin test just to make sure there was no reaction. So that's why it took an hour longer than normal. So the way it works is they do one at a time. They kind of give a little break between each one. They had 2 push ones, meaning that the nurse had a syringe that she would slowly add them. Each of those took, the 2 of them took about, the one took 5 minutes, and I think the other one took 10 minutes because she just had to go slow with it. And then there was one that was a bag that took about 20 minutes, and then the last one, the one that they did the allergy test for, was a bag as well that takes about an hour. So this time it was a pretty long period, but next time it won't be as long. Mostly because the education part was an hour, and they had to do the test, so that was another hour. So my dad and I were there for, we got there at 8 a.m. and we didn't get out of there until around 2. So it's kind of a long day, but I mean, understandably long day. So, like I said, when I first got home, I passed out. I was exhausted. I was really tired. I think that was mostly from the Benadryl. Eventually woke up, was able to eat dinner. Didn't feel hungry, but once food got in front of me, I ate it all down. So that was good on that part. And then the steroids kind of kicked in, so I had a hard time falling asleep last night. It probably wasn't until close to 1 in the morning that I actually fell asleep. The nurse did mention that a lot of patients will they'll stay awake really late the night before to kind of counteract the steroids, so that way they're really tired. So I might try doing that. The night before I kind of didn't sleep well already because I was kind of nervous, but I'll try that to see if it helps. And then currently I'm just tired is probably the biggest thing. Ate breakfast, ate lunch, about to eat dinner soon. I had my dad being Nurse Hatchet, as my aunt called him. He's been great. He's been awesome and very helpful. So can eat. There's just a disconnect between my stomach and my brain. It doesn't say when I'm hungry. And the good thing is I've only felt nauseous once or twice, and I have a medication to counteract it. And as soon as I take it, it definitely kicks in and helps. So really the only main thing is just that I'm tired and kind of groggy. But overall not too bad. Not great, but not too bad. I'll do another video probably in a couple days just to let you know how I'm feeling, how the weekend goes and everything like that. So again, thank you for everyone who's reached out. It really does mean a lot. I don't think I can stress that enough. So, all right, thanks.